कह रहे हैं कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट रिगार्डिंग द इकोनॉमिक क्रिटिक ऑफ द ब्रिटिश इंपेरियलिज्म डेवलप्ड बाय द अर्ली मॉडरेट नेशनलिस्ट. A seminal contribution of the moderate was systematically formulated of the drain of wealth theory, which firmly established that the public consciousness that India's deep-rooted poverty was the direct consequences of the colonial exploitation rather than the inherent domestic flaws. This is very correct. भारत की जनता, इंडियन मासेस ऑलवेज बिलीव्ड, या इंडियंस ऑलवेज बिलीव्ड दैट द reason for all the problems which are being faced is Britishers. भारत के लोगों को हो रही सभी समस्याओं का एकमात्र कारण है और वो है अंग्रेज. और लोगों में ये भावनाएं पहले से फैली हुई हैं, पहले से वो लोग सब इस बात को समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं ऐसा ही रीजन है. एंड दैट टू ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ थ्योरी which was propounded by Dadabhai Naoroji in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, and that was the cornerstone of their critique. That drain of wealth theory was a kind of cornerstone for their critique only, because in his book Dadabhai Naoroji, in his context also, he always argued that a large part of the India's resources was being sent to the British without any equivalent return, and it is one of the very biggest factor causing poverty in India. भारत को गरीब बनाने में सबसे बड़ा कारण यह है कि अंग्रेजों की ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ की थ्योरीज हैं, क्योंकि इंडियन रिसोर्सेज को ब्रिटेन भेज दिया जा रहा है और उसके बदले वहां से उसके इक्विवेलेंट रिटर्न में कुछ भी नहीं आ जा रहा है, और इसलिए भारत गरीब होते जा रहा है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस स्टेटमेंट काउंट्स वेरी करेक्ट देन द इनहेरेंट डोमेस्टिक फ्लॉस. दूसरा, having exposed to the exploitative nature of the British rule, prominent economic critic like Dadabhai Naoroji, R.C. Dutt formally passed resolution during this phase demanding the immediate and complete severance of all political ties with the British Empire. Incorrect. There is one thing कि भारत के मॉडरेट लीडर्स ने कितना भी अंग्रेजों का क्रिटिक किया हो, लेकिन वो उनके साथ वफादार थे. At every moment you will find, at every point of time you will find that the moderates were harsh in their economic critique, but they always remained politically loyal to the crown. Always. They demanded self-government, they demanded home rule movement, they demanded Swaraj, but within the empire, just like Canada and Australia. They never said that we want complete independence, we want Purna Swaraj. Never ever, moderates never ever demanded Purna Swaraj. They were harsh to the economic critics, but they were politically loyal to the crown. They demanded self-government. These people demanded self-government. Swasashan जिसको आप कहते हैं. These people demanded Swaraj. And that too both under the British Empire. This was the best part. अंडर द ब्रिटिश अंपायर. कभी भी अंग्रेजों को उन लोगों ने चुनौती नहीं दी, हमेशा अंग्रेजों के साथ खड़े रहे, पॉलिटिकली बहुत वफादार रहे उनके साथ. ये जानते हुए भी, ये नेता इस बात को जानते थे कि अंग्रेज हमें चूस रहे हैं, अंग्रेज हमें ड्रेन कर रहे हैं, अंग्रेजों की ड्रेन ऑफ वेल्थ की थ्योरी से हम बर्बाद हो रहे हैं, बट स्टिल भारत के नेता उनके खिलाफ रिवर्ट नहीं कर रहे थे, उनके खिलाफ लॉयल थे. दे वर पॉलिटिकल लॉयल टू द क्राउन. दे नेवर डिमांडेड द इमीडिएट एंड कंप्लीट independence or complete severance or complete Purna Swaraj during this phase. That is the phase of 1885 to 1905. प्रियांजलि जी, आप एक बार टेलीकॉलिंग टीम से बात कर लीजिए, आपकी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर दिया जाएगा. क्लास में अगर इतना आप कमेंट करेंगे प्रियांजलि, प्रियानी राज वर्मा, सॉरी प्रियानी राज जी, अगर इतना आप कमेंट करेंगे तो हम तो अभी बीच में सॉल्यूशन नहीं कर देंगे, हम तो टेक्निकल टीम नहीं है. सो आप एक बार टेक्निकल टीम को कांटेक्ट कर लीजिए, कोई समस्या आती है तो मुझे बताइए. ठीक है प्रियानी? ठीक है. Now third, the moderate actively campaigned for a massive influx of foreign capital invested into India, arguing that it was the quickest and most effective mechanism to build large-scale indigenous industry and modernizing the economy. गलत बात है. Moderate, अभी मैंने बताया कि moderate always actively campaigned for a massive influx. No, they never campaigned, never. They always opposed this. अगर बहुत ज्यादा फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट भारत में आ जाएगा तो क्या होगा? व्हाट विल हैपन? Moderate always opposed the influx of foreign capital because moderate always believe that it is a kind of tool for the further colonial consolidation, and instead they advocated for the promotion of indigenous capital, state-led industrialization, just want आत्मनिर्भर भारत। मॉडरेट्स जो हुआ करते थे वो कहते थे कि हमको एफडीआई नहीं चाहिए, हमको फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं चाहिए, फॉरेन कैपिटल नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि ये लोग जब भारत में पैसा लगाएंगे तो पैसा लगाने के बाद ये हमारे व्यापारों को नष्ट कर देंगे। हमको भारत के लोग चाहिए जो हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूत कर सकें, हमारी लोकल इंडस्ट्रीज को बढ़ावा दे सके। इसीलिए ये कैंपेन वाला स्टेटमेंट क्या हो जाएगा? मैसिव इन्फ्लक्स ऑफ फॉरेन कैपिटल, ये गलत हो जाएगा। दे अपोज्ड, मैंने इसलिए यहां लिखा है कि दे अपोज्ड किया था इन लोगों ने, इस बात को ध्यान रखिएगा। अभी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, क्यों किया था ये बता चुका हूं। एज अ प्रैक्टिकल रेमेडी टू एलिवेट द इकोनॉमिक बर्डन ऑफ द इंडियाज पॉपुलेंस, द nationalists consistently demanded the reduction of land revenue, the abolition of salt tax, and a drastic cut in the government exorbitant military expenditure। बिल्कुल सही बात है। आपको पता है कि भारत के इकोनॉमिक बर्डन अंग्रेजों ने बहुत ज्यादा दे रखा था। इकोनॉमिक बर्डन का तात्पर्य क्या है? The practical demands were being taken by the moderate leaders. Moderate leader always focused on the mass relief to the community. So that is why they always campaigned against the salt tax. Salt tax was implemented in India in 1882. It was drastically changed. And although salt tax was a major kind of repulsive thing, because everyone is suffering from this salt tax. गरीब से लेकर अमीर तक, हिंदू से लेकर मुसलमान तक, सबकी थाली में नमक है और सब लोग इससे परेशान हैं। और महात्मा गांधी आपको पता है बाद में इस सॉल्ट टैक्स के कारण जो है क्या कर देंगे, तो सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट, दांडी यात्रा विल बी डन। एंड ऑल्दो ऑलवेज मॉडरेट लीडर्स डिमांडेड फॉर द रिडक्शन ऑफ लैंड रेवेन्यू, रिडक्शन ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर, ह्यूज एक्सपेंडिचर डन ऑन द मिलिट्री, ह्यूज एक्सपेंडिचर डन टू द सैलरीज ऑफ द people posted in London, that is the Secretary of State offices, because there was a Secretary of State to the country India and the office was there in the London, and a huge amount of sum of money was being served to them as the salary portion, and it was a kind of it was a kind of drain of wealth to the India. And for maintaining that, taxation were being always hiked and people were getting suppressed, and people always have to sell their land also to meet the basic requirement of taxation to the Britishers. And that is why this statement comes to and true. So 1 and 2 is correct, 1 and C is the correct answer, 1 and 4. Next, consider the following statement regarding the moderate approach to the constitutional reforms and their activities within the Legislative Council. Which of the following statement is incorrect? सेम क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है कि बताइए कि भाई मॉडरेट अप्रोच टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म, ऑलवेज आपको पता है कि दे वर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली माइंडेड, इसके बारे में ये पूछ रहा है। देखिए क्या कह रहा है। द कंटिन्यूअस डिमांड बाय द अर्ली नेशनलिस्ट फॉर द एक्सपेंशन एंड रिफॉर्म ऑफ द काउंसिल इवेंचुअली कल्मिनेटेड in the Indian Council Act of 1892, which granted member the right to discuss the budget but not to vote on it. ये अभी मैंने आपको थोड़ी देर पहले बताया कि people were asking for a demand, and that demand was like Indian Council Act 1892 came up, and it was a kind of direct and albeit minor concession to the moderate demand. It allowed member to have a participation in the budget. इन्होंने कहा कि आप बजट में भाग ले सकते हैं. You can have the right to discuss the budget but not to vote on it. याद रखिएगा, हम इन पे वोट देने का अधिकार नहीं है. और एक और चीज है, to ask the supplementary question. Rights were also, they were not allowed. ध्यान रखिएगा, they were not allowed to ask supplementary questions. Although later on in 1919 Montagu Chelmsford reform, it was being passed out and it was a kind of tool to the people of the country, but Indian Council Act of 1892 was a direct and albeit minor concession to the moderate demands. It allowed members to discuss the budget, a very new one, but they were not allowed to vote or ask any supplementary question related to this. Clear hai baat sabko? Is it clear to everyone? Now next, the primary objective of the nationalist leaders, nationalist means moderate leaders, in entering this council was to utilize their voting majority to systematically block exploitative imperial policies and enact pro-Indian social and industrialization. This is incorrect, man. Why incorrect? The primary objective. Bhai, nationalists did not have a voting majority in the council. Always Britishers attended an official majority. They always appointed British officers in huge number to prevent any real power tussle into the council. And the primary executive and the primary objective was not legislative execution, but it was a kind of propaganda. Basically, Indian masses or the Indian leader or the moderate leader wanted that they should be there in the council. It will be a kind of pressure so that they can expose the defects of the British bureaucracy. They can expose the policies makers. They can look forward to the to face critic of the economic drain if you are planning to. Any of the political sentiments, if being heard, they will be facing a huge अपोजिशन इन द नेशन. मतलब उन्होंने कहा कि हम वहां चुनकर चले जाएंगे तो हम अंग्रेजों को जीना हराम कर देंगे, हम उनकी ब्यूरोक्रेसी को परेशान करेंगे, हम उनके इकोनॉमिक थ्योरीज को क्रिटिक देंगे, हम जो भी पॉलिटिकल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस वहां पर आएंगे उनके खिलाफ विरोध करेंगे अगर वो हमारे पक्ष में नहीं होंगे तो ये बात आपको समझनी है. दैट इज वाई दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Nationalist leaders like Firoz Shah Mehta and Gopal Krishna Gokhale successfully transformed the otherwise powerless council into highly effective national forum for the political propaganda and education. This is a correct statement. These people like Firoz Shah Mehta and Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Gokhale के बारे में तो एक बात मैं बता दूं कि this Gopal Krishna Gokhale, when he used to say participate in the discussion of the budget, इनके डिस्कशन, इनकी भाषण इतने स्ट्रांग होते थे भाषण कि अंग्रेज भी इनकी तारीफ करते थे, इतने स्ट्रांग होते थे. देयर वर सेवरल लिमिटेशंस, मल्टीपल लिमिटेशंस, बट पार्लियामेंट्रियन लाइक गोपाल कृष्ण गोखले, फिरोज शाह मेहता, सुरेंद्र नाथ बैनर्जी, दे वर द मास्टर ऑफ द क्लास. देयर स्पीचेस were widely effective, their speeches were widely vibrant, their speeches was hardly related to the demands of the Indian masses. Their speeches become viral during those days. They were widely reported in the newspaper, they were widely reported in the press media, and it was a kind of a powerful tool for the political awakening and exposing the government flaws. And he was being multiple times he was being praised by the British officials कि वाह गोखले जी, वाह आप क्या भाषण देते हैं, आप शानदार भाषण देते हैं. तो ये बात आपको समझनी है. थर्ड, नेक्स्ट, फोर्थ, इन देयर कैंपेन फॉर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म. अच्छा, पूछा क्या था, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज इनकरेक्ट, तो आंसर तो यही आ गया कि बी इज द आंसर, बी इज द इनकरेक्ट, पर भी देख लेते हैं. इन देयर कैंपेन फॉर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रिफॉर्म द अर्ली नेशनलिस्ट ड्रू इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम द ग्लोबल डेमोक्रेटिक मूवमेंट एंड बिगेन demanding Indian control over the public purse, popularizing the slogan no taxation without representation. This is correct. Basically, this no taxation without representation is a phrase which was taken from the American Revolution. It was very famous during the American Revolution. It was very famous. During the American Revolution, it was a kind of phrase which was echoing in and around the America, and the people were saying that we will be paying no taxation without our representation, because they wanted to have a control over the economy of the country, and that is why they want a highly agitation. There was a huge agitation among the masses, and masses saying that we will not pay a single penny as a tax if you are not giving any representation to ours in the society. So it was influenced by the Americans, and the Americans or the European democratic ideals. The moderate always pushed for the no taxation without representation. They always try to link this with the fiscal responsibility directly to the Indian participation in the government, their representation in the government, their sound hearing to the government, their policy framing to the government, their right to discuss with the government, although they were not allowed to vote, but they can criticize the policies of the government. So this was the reason behind.